Thank you so much. So just like to invite the next panelists to come up. Here we go. So just want to check with I see Marika and Ivan. Is it Del there? There you are. Great. All right. So I'm hosting this next fireside chat with industry leaders in innovation. So I've got Adele Brown, co-founder, entrepreneur in residence of she's a co-founder of Free Feet Medical and an entrepreneur in residence at the Blackstone Launchpad here in NUIG. We've got Marika Burkio, head of digital marketing at Alto Cloud and the founder of OMIG, and Ivan McNamara, owner at Ordbia at Nemos, co-founder of the Tweed Project, and numerous other hats as well. So looking forward to this discussion on innovation. Super. Hello. All right. So the innovation and kind of pushing the boundaries. Ivan actually was quoting you last night, or name checking you last night at the opening of the Portishead, actually, and to Gary Hines as well, because I think there's a thing about Galway where people seem to gather down around near the Spanish Arch and do crazy stuff that are, and say, right, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it now. And you've done it with Ordbia and kind of kickstarted, in my opinion, a food revolution in Galway. And then the Tweed project you're working on now is really, really exciting. But for you, pushing out the boundaries and just going for it here in Galway, how did you? Was that just in you, or did you just decide, right, we're going to do this? I'm going to do something, and I'm going to do it my way.
Well, I don't think there's any way of doing anything in life unless it's your way. So I suppose I always do my own thing. Is that on? Yeah. So I think the only way to do things in life is to do it your own way. So that's just my belief. And so I suppose, initially starting off with the restaurant and, developing ideas around food and around eating food and experiences that I was interested in, and then progressing then onto the Tweed project, and I suppose the art gallery as well that we had, contemporary art gallery and all of that. So I mean, I'm just here really to entertain myself, and and it's as plain as simple as that. I suppose I'm very connected to Mary Nally, who's done Drop Everything. We're very good friends, and you mentioned Gary Hines, and maybe they're all down in Nemo's drinking wine, and they but it's just a way of, you can either go conventionally or you can go your own way, and my opinion is I always go my own way. So I would encourage people to do that.
That's great. And I know you travel a lot, and kind of whether it's travel writing or bringing back thoughts in design or that internationally, as you've decided to do your own thing, is there anything that you'd like to see other people kind of tackle in Galway, for example, or do things in a different way?
Well, I think that I've been over and back talking a lot about Galway right now, and we're heading into the potentially successful bid for 2020. We've just won Region of Gastronomy, which is huge in terms of being up against Copenhagen and Barcelona. I'm doing a talk actually tomorrow in the McLally Theatre above the Fold, and they were asking me the same question, and they're like, how good is Galway compared to Dublin, and how good is this, and how good is that, and what can we do? I'm like, we're already there. I think we're already there. Of course, in a tech context it's different, but that's all coming together at the same time as an amazing food scene, as an amazing geographical location, which we've always had, with colossal tourism, recognizing us having a unique position. I'm actually concerned about, even the successful bid, God, I shouldn't say that, but that we have to go slowly, because we have something very precious here, very precious. I mean, what city do you have that's so dynamic, so special, and then you've got 6 beaches within a mile, and okay, we don't have the weather, but we have everything else, and so we need to be mindful of what we have, and we need to go slowly with what we have. So I think we're on the most amazing trajectory, but slowly, because I've been to Berlin back in the day when it was really amazing. I've been to Iceland, boom, Iceland's gone down, it's gone up, it's gone crazy. We have to be careful, take it slowly. We have a beautiful place, and it's so creative and it's so dynamic. So I think we're doing fine.
Awesome, that's
And we have
great.
to mind it, you know.
Yeah, Marika, maybe I'll come to you. I know you as a neighbour in the Portershed as digital marketing, head of digital marketing at Alto Cloud, and the community work that you're doing to help build and to drive expertise here through online marketing in Galway, bringing world-class speakers here, doing great talks and that. For you, what drives you? Is it similar to Evan in that you love the stuff and you're just going to make it happen yourself?
Yeah, like that. I was living in Dublin for 5 years and I wanted to come back to Galway, but I always kind of promised myself it wasn't just going to come back to be in Galway. It was going to come back and to continue, hopefully, a successful career and to continue my passion. And thankfully, since I've come back, there's been amazing kind of activities, and I kind of soon noticed that they had great little meetup groups, and I noticed there was one missing that was kind of unique to me. It's kind of more so known as online marketing. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of make sure I wasn't missing out, and I had a big network around me in Dublin, and I didn't have that in Galway anymore. I kind of needed to find friends again, I suppose, and to find people to discuss things with, because digital marketing is like that. Things change every week, so it's impossible for one person to be an expert in every area. So therefore, just started OMIG. It started very small. We had 5 people come up to the first one, and on average now we have between 60 to 100 come to our monthly meetups. And I just see Breda up there. Breda, thankfully, is from Leo, who's supported us as well the last 3 to 4 years. And we have lots of other supports in Galway as well, thankfully. And what I noticed about Galway is there's so many people here, with a personal agenda to make Galway a better place for business as well. And it's not always about kind of making a load of money on the back of it. It's actually about the long term in their mind. So.
There's a lot of people with kind of good intention and wanting to do good here too, but like in terms of the skills, in terms of digital marketing here, is there a deep expertise here? Is there a lot of people who are really good at this stuff, or how do we fare out?
Yeah, without a doubt, I think there definitely is. Again, I had my experience in Dublin, and I've come back to Galway, and I've seen some amazing people in Galway who have such potential. And I think coming straight out of university anyway, nearly everyone's on the same level. In fact, I suppose it's one thing that our universities need to start doing better is, the practical skills within a workplace, especially in courses like I did, commerce. When I was in my college, in my undergrad, which was here, my postgrad, which was in UCD, digital marketing wasn't a topic at all, and it was an area I was very passionate about. And that's slightly improved today, which is, it's only slightly improved. So I still think, whether you're in Dublin or Galway, it's, people are still coming out with, very little practical skills in that area.
I know Ciara, who produced this event and the event in London last week, her skills relative to my skills coming out of commerce, 20 years apart, were slightly different. But I think those skills, they are each year changing to be much more practical a little bit, but there is more work to do. And I think particularly in the marketing space and the business space here, like to get real skills is one thing, because the engineering seems to be tops. The medicine, there seems to be a lot of great thing there, but I think we have another bit to go in our related field to really be world leaders here.
Yeah, I think UCC and UL now, for example, I think they have a year where they have to go working or 6 months or something like that. But
actually, I was asked to mention a really cool, I think it's a Masters in Entrepreneurship. Tom Acton is running here, starting here later in the year, which is going to be really exciting and should give kind of a broad skills there. Speaking of entrepreneurship in here, Adele, I've seen you at different events, but a lot of the time you're head down working as well, so I don't often get to chat to you. But I got to see you. You came over to the Lean Startup Summit in London last week and really got stuck in, and I was there. Geez, fair play. 19 years of age, right? Medical device, Free My Feet. Tell us a little bit about this.
started as a complete accident, I suppose. There's no big like entrepreneurial vision behind actually starting it. I came up with it, so it's called, the business is Free Feet Medical, and it started as a project for the BT Young Scientists competition in 2013. So basically it's a device for people with Parkinson's, and they get a shuffling movement in their legs and feet called gait freezing. And from the small scale trials that we've done so far, it has the potential to reduce the severity of that shuffling in their legs and feet by about 40%. So we're working on commercialising that now at the moment. But yeah, so it's been 3 years, I suppose, of just work and refining the device design itself, and like building a network and that type of thing. So I really had to start from the ground up, but like we've had loads of support. So it started originally, as I said, from the Young Scientist, and then BT run a business boot camp for a week for like the top 6 commercially viable projects. So from the Young Scientist, I, with the device, came second overall, and then got into the boot camp, and then the Student Enterprise Awards with the Leo, and won Galway for that as well. And then one of, I suppose, the big breaks, if you call them that, was I just emailed loads of people because I wanted to go to this 2-week type summer camp type thing in Imperial College in London, and the people who replied back to me, funnily enough, were the Irish Medical Device Association, and they funded my trip over there. So that I got exposure to so many more people, especially in the field, because that was lectures that we could tailor to like our specific interests. So mine would have been medtech and biotech. I'm in second year in biotech at the moment. And then from that, came back, kept working away, and then got into the Outbox incubator in London last summer, which Mary Carty, who spoke earlier, co-founded. So that was 6 weeks over in London, and Free Feet was the most successful out of the 30 startups over the 6 weeks from the demo day. So since that, it's just been crazy. And then I started working with Blackstone as well, and kind of integrating more into the, I suppose, community in Galway, and trying to get a bit more work on the product done at the same time.
That's amazing. And what's the team working on the product look like? Do you have other people with you?
Yeah, so like we have a lot of advisors that kind of help, but our core team, I suppose, would be myself, my co-founder Aoife Kirk, who's a doctor. She's working in UCHG at the moment, and she'll be coming on board on more of a full-time basis from July, which is great. And we last week took on an intern for the summer, who's a biomedical engineering student here in NUIG, to kind of focus more on the product aspect.
Amazing. So you're all like achieving and doing. And I'm interested just in the process, because I mean, it's not. You saw a problem and you went for it with that one. You, Ivan and Marika, see things that you want done or the way you want to do it. And how do you set yourself kind of times, or how do you immerse yourself in getting things done? Do you have a system for us to learn? Because you're doing a lot at the same time and achieving it. So I'd like to know personally.
Well, I just kind of always say that I respond to my emails in the morning, and luckily I have opportunities through those emails, and I either accept them or I don't accept them, and I suppose when you get to a level with you as well, and you have opportunities and you go with them, and I suppose I have some clear focuses in terms of my lifestyle is the thing that drives me, and then secondarily, and my child and my time and how I want to live my life is my driving force. And then from that, and I think that's quite important in a very incredibly busy time and high-tech time that we all live in, that we do focus on our lives as opposed to anything else. So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but
no, go on, keep going.
On that subject, okay. But so that's all I do. I mean, I focus on RB, I focus on the Tweet project. People say to me, will you start something else? Will you start another restaurant? You're so busy. I'm like, I have no interest, because that's only just, I'm interested in Galway now. I really am interested in Galway. I'm interested in how amazing it is, and how amazing everybody who I meet in the restaurant tells me about it, and all the people who are coming here. So I'm very excited by Galway. I know that sounds a bit twee, but and if and if I can help in any way to make it even better, that's a very strong motivation for me. So whether it be a tourist dropping in and having a good experience and buying a bit of tweed and feeling connected to slow food or slow fashion, then I feel happy, and it's quite simple.
Well, I had one thing kind of always stuck out to me when I was in Commerce and NUIG. We had a lecturer who used to always say, tangibilize the intangible. So if I ever have an idea, and I think the one good thing about doing something for yourself versus working for someone is you can go a little bit faster if you want, or slower if you want. So with OMIG, it was an idea I had in my head. And the first thing I did is created a logo. I, put up a Facebook page. I invited people. I tried to make it real without just keep on thinking and kind of planning. And it was just about kind of getting out there as soon as possible, and then kind of see where it went and keep on growing it from there. So that was my way, really, was trying to make it as real as possible very
What's
quickly.
the quote you said to begin with?
Tangibilize the intangible. So, so if you're kind of planning it and you can't see it and you keep on doing that, it's just kind of make it as real as possible as soon as you can. Yeah.
Nice.
So I suppose in my case, it got to the point where I had to decide where I wanted to go with it. So it did start off as just a project for the Young Scientist, and then I had started entering it in the likes of the Student Enterprise Awards and business boot camps, things like that. And then last summer, I suppose I had to sit down and actually thought about what I wanted to do with it and where I wanted it to go before I entered Outbox, because that had a massive impact. That got us fantastic press and exposure. Since that, we've been funded by Accenture and Salesforce, and got in the Guardian, things like that. That I needed to decide, okay, I'm going to commit to this before that happened. So it was more a thought process with regards to that, and actually committing to it, I suppose, was the big thing for me. And in terms of actually doing it, just do it, just kind of keep going, roll with it. Yeah.
And so getting into those environments, like those intense incubators, programs, things like that, and going to different events, any take, like at the age that you are, it's just great to be opening up to those things. Any takeaways from last week, let's say, that you got, maybe, or this week? What am I talking about in terms of the lean startup? Was there anything that got you?
I suppose maybe not the lean startup specifically, but in general, events-wise, I think there are too many of them, and networking I find very awkward.
Yeah.
But no, I thought the lean startup was very good because it kind of got exposure to the UK side of things, which I had a bit of in Outbox, but let's say get to see level 39 and things like that. But in general, I think for me, because all of my family are scientists, I had no exposure to business and no knowledge of how to go about it whatsoever. You meet people and build a network yourself, and I think that's where they come in handy.
Great. Going to throw any questions to the audience if anybody wants to jump in, or if you have any questions for each other. That's also good. So yeah, anybody want to ask the innovators which is going on? I'm hosting another panel. Yeah, please.
Yeah, no, it was something that Marika said, just about creating, making something tangible. And I know you create the website, but I know I've just been involved in a lot of things where people have gone that far and have created the website and expected things to come to them. And I just wondered, what is the secret? What's the next step? Because I know it isn't as simple as just throw up a website.
Yeah, well, that's one thing, because my area is digital marketing. A lot of people do kind of think you'll build a website and everyone just comes to it. I suppose you have to go a little bit further than that, and you have to promote it as well and get people involved and kind of look at the influencers, around Galway, and look at the different networks that we could tap into and that have an interest. And as I said earlier, one of them would have been the local enterprise office, and they do a lot with digital, so kind of utilising and letting them know what we do, and hopefully they can tell the relevant people there. Then another thing that helped there in our kind of corner, I suppose, was getting really good quality speakers for us. So I suppose whatever it is that you do and you have a website, it's about the content that you have on that and the content that you're giving, and what your event, for example, for in our case, what our event has within it. That's what's going to capture people's attention. And in our case, we always try to bring quality. I suppose for yourselves in the restaurant, it's good food, and for Edel, it's like a product that is necessary and hopefully innovative and something different. So I think it comes down to your core offering and making it kind of something that people want. And thankfully for us, for OMIG, it's mainly the speakers and also the networking that gets people coming. But the speakers was the first hook. Like, we've had some amazing speakers over the last 5 years. We've had some come from the UK, Dublin. We have our own local speakers here who are doing really well in digital in Galway. So I think that's the main part for us.
I think it's really important to differentiate yourself, I suppose, from the masses, and aim for quality in terms of good speakers, which is effectively giving you your initial platform. And I think everything matters, especially in the beginning. And I agree with that quite a bit, Yeah. I knew this was coming.
Hi, Van.
Hi, Colin.
So why has the Tweet project been a success?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it's along the lines of what I just said. I think about 6 months in, I'd realised we'd created a brand that people wanted, and I think that wasn't a conscious thing, but it evolved and it happened, and it's really nice when that happens.
But what does it mean to the customers, I suppose?
Well, they're hopefully buying into an integral product, a heritage product, a product that will last a lifetime. So it's not a throwaway thing. It's something they have to wait for, and it's something that they have to invest in. And we produce very little, so when they get a piece, it's quite special, and we hope they feel that connection. So. But we rode the wave of the year of design, and then we're riding the wave of the kind of the end of that, and the kind of going on from that, and we fall between a funny two brackets of fashion and craft. So we appeal to both people. So I don't know why. I mean, everything is manufactured here in Galway. I'm terribly proud of that. It's made in terms of fabric up in Donegal, but it's manufactured here, and it can only be got in Galway. So it's you have to come here, have lunch in Ardbia, get a Tweet project, and go home, and it's a kind of nice little thing, Well, you don't have to have the lunch, but they often do. But so it's kind of, you can't get it anywhere. I don't know, Colin. You tell me.
So look, just wrap it up there. That's fine. So thanks so much. Real admirers of what you're doing and breaking new ground, and whether it's in the marketing space and skilling up the community, or in medical devices and entrepreneurship from a young age, or if it's in a mix of design and art and food and creativity and everything. Like, there's some awesome things going on here, and I think we should be proud of you guys and the stuff that's going on. So thank you so much for taking part.